Good evening. In the last session, we have seen what is the JSP. JSP stands for Java Server Pages. It is used to develop presentation logic. Inside JSP, we can write HTML tags, right? And whenever we write something in the JSP, whenever we create a JSP, every JSP will be converted into servlet program for the execution purpose. So the main reason of going for JSP is to separate business logic and presentation logic. Whatever presentation logic we want to write, presentation logic we will write in the JSP. Whatever the business logic we want to write, that we will go for servlet. Any database communication logic that we are going to write in the JDBC. JDBC we will use to communicate with the database. Yeah. What is a scriptlet in the JSP? What is the purpose of scriptlet in the JSP? Scriptlets are used to write Java code inside the JSP. What is the directive in the JSP? Whatever the methods that you want to write, whatever the variables you want to declare, we can write them inside a directive. What are implicit objects in the JSP? Request, response, config, context, session, page context. How many implicit objects available? There are total 9 implicit objects are available in the JSP. We can use those implicit objects directly while we are developing the JSP program. What is the JSP lifecycle? JSP init, JSP service, JSP destroy. How we have lifecycle for the servlet? Similarly, we are having the lifecycle for the JSP also. Whenever we send a request, first JSP will be converted to servlet, then JSP init method, JSP service method, JSP destroy method will be executed. What is the difference between JSP include and JSP forward? Include and forward directives. If you want to include one JSP content in the another JSP page, then we can go for include directive. If you want to forward the request from one JSP to another JSP, then we will go for JSP forward. All right. So scriptlets are used to write Java code in the JSP. Directives are used to declare variables and methods inside the JSP. Implicit objects nothing but JSP container will create these objects and will make them available to use in our scriptlet and directives directly. JSP lifecycle, every JSP will be converted to servlet, and in that 3 methods will be available. Those are called as lifecycle methods. Now, from one JSP, if you want to send a request to another JSP, then we will go for forward directive. If you want to include one JSP content in the another JSP, then we can go for JSP include directive. What is the JSTL? It is a tag library. Now I am getting sound. Now I am getting that sound. Did I explain that concept? No. But how you are able to give the answer? Analysis. So that is the difference. If you study something before coming to the class, you will have more clarity. What is the JSTL? Java Standard Tag Library. It is not recommended to write the Java code in the JSP. So to avoid Java code in the JSP, JSTL tags available. By using the JSTL tags, we can develop a presentation logic without writing the Java code. What is MVC? MVC stands for Model View Controller. If you want to develop any project, presentation logic will be available, business logic will be available, persistence logic will be available. It is not recommended to develop that logic in the single program. For maintenance, we are going to divide the logic into multiple programs. So the process of dividing our logics into multiple programs, that is called as design pattern, MVC architecture, model, view, controller architecture. All right. Now, hidden variable, cookie, session management, this I will explain in the project. When we are developing a project, I will cover what is that cookie, what is that hidden variable, and what is that session management. Are these concepts theoretically clear for you? Yes, scriptlet, directives, implicit objects, life cycle, include, forward, JSTL, and MVC. Now, instead of this, already you have seen theory in the Google or whatever you want. You search it that and you got some theoretical points. Now, we will try to develop small applications by using JSP, JDBC, and servlet. Whenever requirement comes, then I will explain what is the purpose of scriptlet and how to use that scriptlet. I want to change our learning pattern. Explaining a lot of theory, there is no use. Let us take a requirement. For that requirement, whether we need scriptlet, whether we need a directive, whether we need JSTL, at that time, on demand basis, we will learn that concept and we will implement that concept. First, I will explain MVC architecture. I will explain MVC architecture, and based on that MVC architecture, we need to develop our applications. Clear, guys? Good. Now, first let's understand what is MVC. MVC stands for Model View Controller. Generally, people will explain all the topics of JSP. At the end, they will explain the MVC. But now, first I want to explain the MVC. With that MVC knowledge, we will develop a project and we will learn the concept so that you will understand scenario, which topic to use in which situation. Got it? Yep. MVC. MVC stands for Model View Controller. Okay. MVC nothing but it is a design pattern to develop our applications. MVC is a design pattern. It is used to develop our applications. Now, application means every application will contain presentation logic, business logic, and persistence logic will be available. If I develop everything in one program, what is the problem? Maintenance of the problem will be available. Let us take a simple example. I want to purchase one table, guys. Assume that I want to purchase one table in our institute. So now my requirement is like this. I want a table with 4 legs like this. Yeah. So I want to purchase a table like this with 4 legs that is required for our institute. Now I have called 2 people who can manufacture the table. 2 people came here to give the quotation, to take my measurement, my requirement, what type of table I want, how much width, how much height. I have given my requirement. Then first person told that, Ashok, give me 10,000, I will prepare a table for you. And he told me, I will use single wood. Complete table, I will prepare with single wood. You give me 10,000 rupees. I will prepare a table. I will give you that table within 2 days of time. I have a big wood with me. With that wood, I will prepare a complete table. I will give you. It will cost 10,000 rupees. I will use single piece of wood. Now, second person came and he told me that, Ashok, I will take 18,000 rupees. I will bring parts and assemble. I will bring legs separately. I will bring the table separately. After coming to our institute, I will assemble the parts and I will make the table ready for you. Now, here, complete table is giving us 1 wood. And here, he is giving pieces, 4 legs and 1 surface is available. Total 5 parts available in the second person quotation. He is charging 18,000. He is charging 10,000. Which one we will prefer? 10,000 or 18,000? If I go for 10,000, cost is less, na? Less cost, I'm going to get a table. For less cost, I'm getting a table. Fine, happy, I'm using the table. After few days, one of my table leg got broken. One of my table leg got broken. Then what will happen? Is there any use of that table? No, my complete product got wasted. Okay guys, because that completed table is prepared with only one wood, single wood he used to prepare the table. For 10,000 only I got the table. After using for 1 week, one of the leg got broken for this table. Can I use this table now? Is there any use of that table? No use of that table. But if I go for this second approach, all the 4 legs are different parts. The table is a different part. He has taken all the 5 parts. He assembled with some bolts. Tomorrow, if one leg is broken, is there any problem? Is there any problem? Only I will replace that leg with the 100 rupees or 200 rupees. So now, cost wise, which one is better? Cost wise, first one is better, but maintenance wise, second one is better. If you develop everything in one program, maintenance will be difficult. If you combine the presentation logic, business logic, and database logic in the single program, maintenance of the project will become very, very, very difficult. Always, we need to develop the project as multiple parts. We need to develop the project as multiple parts. So how we are going to develop? Here in this program, I will develop my presentation logic. In this program, I will develop my business logic. In this program, I will develop my database logic. Am I developing a single program for everything? Am I developing 3 programs for developing my project? 3 parts. I am developing my project part by part. Here, everything is available. UI is available. Servlets available and DAOs also available. The UI logic, servlets logic, DB logic, everything I'm developing in the single program. If I develop everything in the single program, so what is the problem we are going to get? Maintenance problem. If I keep everything in the single program, I'm going to get maintenance problem. What is the meaning of maintenance? Tomorrow I want to change UI from one language, from one technology to another technology. Today I am using JSP for the UI. Tomorrow I want to go for Angular, or I want to go for React, or I want to go for Vue.js. Everything is available in the single program. If I want to change that UI, it may affect on the servlet. If I change the servlet, it may affect on the database communication. Project development will be easy. Every logic we are keeping in the single program, but maintenance of the project will become very, very, very difficult if you follow that approach. Are you guys getting my point? Now, this approach is outdated approach. Developing everything in the single Java class is the outdated approach. If you develop everything in the single Java class, lot of problems we will face in the future. Client may ask to add the new functionality. Client may ask to change existing functionality. Client may ask to change UI from one technology to another technology. If everything is available in the single program, lot of maintenance problems will be available. To overcome that problem, lot of experts in the software industry identified one solution. If we develop a project today, that means our work is not completed. Lifelong maintenance will be available for the project. Client may ask some changes. Client may ask to add a new functionality. Client may ask us to change the existing functionality. Whatever we are developing today, lifelong we have to maintain that. Whatever we are developing today, lifelong we have to maintain that. So don't combine everything into one program. Keep them separately. Database logic, keep in a separate class. Servlets logic, keep in a separate class. Presentation logic, keep in a separate file. Let's integrate them for execution purpose. Let's integrate them for execution purpose. Now here I am writing my JSP logic, guys, or UI logic I'm writing. Okay, or else I'm writing JSP here. Here I'm writing servlets. Here I'm writing my servlet. Here I'm writing my DAO, database logic. is available inside my DAO. Like this, instead of keeping everything in the single program, for the presentation logic, I am using JSP. For business logic, I am using servlet. For a database communication, I am using DAO. Tomorrow, client asked us, boss, JDBC outdated, remove JDBC, add Hibernate. Do I need to change JSP and servlets? No. Why? Why? Where is my database communication logic? Database communication logic available in the DAO. Only DAO class I am going to modify without touching the JSP and the servlet. Without touching the JSP and servlet, I can modify only DAO. I will change JDBC logic to Hibernate logic. So maintenance is easy or maintenance is difficult? Maintenance is easy. And suppose if I go for this first approach, I'm keeping single class, everything is there. Servlet program, JDBC logic, JSP, presentation logic, everything I'm keeping in the single program. If I want to change from JDBC to Hibernate, complete project will be affected. Complete project will be affected if I keep everything in the single program. So that's why always we need to separate our logics in the project so that project maintenance will become super easy in the future. So that is called MVC architecture. MVC stands for Model View Controller. MVC is not a technology, guys. MVC is not a technology. It is not a programming language. MVC is one approach. It is a process to develop our programs with the loosely coupling. What is the meaning of loosely coupling? One program is not dependent on the another program. JSP contains only presentation logic. That's it. Tomorrow, I don't want to go for JSP. I want to go for Angular. Do I need to touch my servlet? Do I need to touch my DAO? Only I will modify my JSP program. Today, I am using servlet. Servlet, we need to write a lot of code in the servlet. Tomorrow, I want to go for Spring Web. Spring Web module available to develop the web application. Do I need to touch JSP? No, I will touch only my servlet. Instead of servlet, I will use WebMVC. Today I am using JDBC in the DAO. JDBC outdated. I want to go for Hibernate. I will modify only my DAO layer. Are you guys clear with my point? MVC stands for Model View Controller. What is this MVC? MVC, it is a design pattern to develop our application components with a loosely coupling. MVC stands for Model View Controller. MVC is a design pattern to develop our application components with loosely coupling. So now, by using this MVC design pattern, we can develop our application with a layered architecture. Layered architecture, that means there are so many JSPs are available. Login JSP, register JSP, dashboard JSP, report JSP. Like that, there are so many JSPs are available. All the JSPs are called as presentation layer components. So whatever the files, whatever the programs that we are developing for user interface, that is called presentation layer. Whatever the programs we are developing with the business logic, take the request, send the response, that is called web layer. So many servlets will be available. Login servlet will be available. Register servlet will be available. Forgot password servlet will be available. So many servlets will be available in the application. All the servlets will be called as web layer. Okay. And as we discussed in the JDBC, so many tables will be available in the database. User table, employee table, student table, book table. So many tables will be available. For every table, one DAO class will be available. So many tables, so many DAOs. I have 100 tables in my database. For 100 tables, I'm creating 100 DAOs. So 100 DAO classes will be available. All the classes which are responsible to communicate with the database, those are called as DAO layer classes. Presentation layer files, web layer classes, DAO layer classes will be available. That is called layered architecture. We are going to follow MVC design pattern to develop layered architecture. Are you guys clear? Now, this MVC not only for Java. If you go for Python, MVC will be available. If you go for .NET, MVC will be available. In the Java, MVC is available. Anybody can use MVC. MVC is one approach to develop our application with loosely coupling. Now, when we go for this MVC architecture, how it looks like. Here, our model will be available. Here, view will be available. And here, controller will be available. Model, view, controller. MVC. MVC. Model, view, controller. Now, controller will get the request. From where controller will get the request? Controller will get the request to the view. View means, what is view? Presentation, our JSP files. View means presentation, our JSP files will be available. Users will be talking to view files. Now, users will be talking to view file. Now, whenever user performs some operation, request will come to view file. From the view file, request will go to controller. From the controller, we will prepare the data in the model. DAO will becomes under model category only, which will deal with the data. Model will send the data to view file. Model will send the data to view file. So whenever we develop our application with MVC architecture, it will look like this. All the presentation will be part of view files. All the servlets will be part of controller. Model, our DAO classes, our DTO classes comes under model category. Whatever the presentation logic is required, presentation logic we will write in the view file. Whatever the business logic is required, business logic we are going to write in the controller. Whatever the data that we want to deal, whatever the data that I want to send from controller to view, view to controller, that data we will represent by using model objects. So when we are developing our application, we need to follow MVC architecture. Are you able to follow me? Yep. Keep a heading. MVC. Yes, sir. Yeah, keep a point. MVC, model, view, controller. MVC stands for model, view, controller. Okay. In this MVC, M means represents data. Represents data. Now, view, it represents presentation logic. Presentation logic. Controller, business logic. Responsible to handle, it handles request and response. MVC stands for model, view, controller. MVC stands for model, view, controller. M represents data. M means model. Model. View means presentation logic. View means presentation logic. C means a controller. It handles request and response. We can write the business logic in that controller. Now, take this diagram. MVC, model, view, controller. Huh?
But telling that there is no relation between model and view. But you are saying that request will come to view everywhere it is shown that request will come to controller. Controller will deal with view and controller will deal with.
You can from controller directly we can send the data to the view and
Model.
from
There is no relation between model and.
no, we can keep it. Suppose I have a book object. Book object is a book class I will take. Book class I will send in the request. Modular class I can access in the view. JSTL we can use to iterate the data. I will show you the proof. Model means it is just like a binding class which can hold the data. We can transfer the data from controller to view file using our model classes. Those are called DTO classes. Yeah, DO is different. DTO we will use basically. Both will comes any class which represents data comes under model. Take this diagram. Users will interact with our application. Our application will be developed by using model view controller architecture. Huh? Request, yeah. Completed. Yeah. Diagram. Yes. Next note, next point. It is a design pattern to develop our application components with loosely coupling. MVC is a design pattern to develop our application components with loosely coupling. It is a design pattern to develop our application components with loosely coupling. It is a design pattern to develop our application components with loosely coupling. What is the main aim of the MVC? To make our application loosely coupled and easily maintainable. If we develop our application with MVC, if we develop our application with MVC design pattern, then maintenance of the project, maintenance of the application will become easy. If we develop our application with MVC design pattern, then maintenance of the application will become easy. If we develop our application with MVC design pattern, then maintenance of the application will become easy. What is the meaning of maintenance is easy? What is the meaning of maintenance is easy? Making the changes in the project is easy. Tomorrow, if I want to modify something, then maintenance of the project will become easy. So that means I can modify my DAO layer. I can modify my DAO layer without affecting on the web layer. I can modify my web layer without affecting on the JSP. Now, project architecture. Let's make a note. Project architecture. Project architecture. Project architecture. So when we are developing a project, guys, we need to keep in the mind that this is my UI layer, presentation layer. This is my web layer where my business logic will be available. And this is my DAO layer where my DAO classes will be available. This is my database. Okay. Now DAO layer will have so many classes, will communicate with the database, and UI layer will contain some files. So here you can say presentation layer, UI layer. You can simply note down it as UI layer. What is the meaning of UI layer? All the presentation files. UI layer contains all my presentation files. Presentation files may be 20, maybe 30, maybe 100. All the presentation files comes under UI layer. Now, what is the meaning of web layer? Servlets, which contains my business logic to deal with request and response. Can I have multiple servlets in the project? Yes, we can have multiple servlets in the project. Here we will be having DAO layer. What is the meaning of DAO layer? Persistence layer, which are responsible to communicate with the database. Now, I want to transfer the data from one layer to another layer. So then what we are going to use? DTO. What is the meaning of DTO? What is the meaning of DTO? Data transfer. Now, whatever the data I captured from the form, that data I will store into my DTO object. DTO object I will use with the I want to send the form data from the servlet to DAO. Sending the data directly with method parameters is recommended. Sending the data in the form of object is recommended. My form is having 20 fields. Can we take 20 parameters for a method? No, we already discussed. Servlet method should call the DAO method. I want to pass form data from the servlet to DAO. Taking 20 parameters for the method is not recommended. Then how can I send 20 fields data from servlet to DAO? By using object. That object is called as DTO object. DTO stands for data transfer object. So like this, we are going to develop a project. Like this, we are going to develop a project. UI layer will be available. DAO layer will be available. DTO layer will be available in the project. This is my application. Users will talk to UI. User will talk to UI. UI will talk to web layer. Web layer will use DTO. And the DTO can be used to pass the data to DAO layer. Sometimes my web layer want to send some data to the UI. I can send in the DTO object. That servlet can store the data into DTO object. DTO object we can access in the JSP file directly. That is called model. Model can be used in the UI. Model can be used in the business layer as well as in the DAO layer also to transfer the data from one layer to another layer. If I develop my application like this, any project, if I develop like this, MVC architecture, model, view, controller. What is the meaning of a model? Model represents data. DAO is called as one model. DTO is also called as a model. This web layer, nothing but controller. This UI, view, presentation logic will be available in the view. Business logic will be available in the controller. Model contains database logic as well as data transfer logic from one program to another program. If I develop like this, tomorrow I want to change from JDBC to Hibernate. Then what should I do? Do I need to modify everything in the project or only DAO layer? Only DAO layer. Go to our table. One leg is damaged. Here I am using second approach. Second approach is recommended. One leg is damaged in the table. Should I purchase a new table? I need to repair only that leg. I need to repair only that leg. It will cost me 200 or 300 rupees to replace the leg. Replacing the table, 10,000 rupees. If the leg is damaged, I need to purchase a new table. But if I go for second approach, only that leg I need to replace. Similarly, tomorrow I want to change from JDBC to Hibernate. If I want to go from JDBC to Hibernate, I will change only DAO layer logic. I no need to touch my JSPs and my servlets. Tomorrow, I don't want JSP. I want to go for Angular. Then I will touch only view layer. No need to touch the business layer and DAO layer. So maintenance is easy or maintenance is not easy? Maintenance is easy. Tomorrow, if any change is there, easily we can implement that change in our project. That is called easy maintenance. Tomorrow, we should be able to manage the project easily. To maintain the project easily, we need to follow MVC architecture, model, view, controller. Controller should contain business logic. View should contain presentation logic. Model should represent only data. Model should represent only data. Now, take the diagram. Any project we are going to develop, same architecture. Even if we go for Spring Boot also, same architecture. MVC architecture. MVC is same. MVC, if you go for anywhere, not only Java, not only Spring Boot, .NET, Python, any programming language, MVC is same. Code will change, architecture is same. Online people, are you able to understand what is MVC and what is the advantage we are getting? What is MVC and what is the advantage we are getting with MVC? Model, view, controller to develop our application with loosely coupling. Separate that. Don't combine everything. Don't cook everything in one bowl. Keep separate bowls. That is the concept. If you cook everything in one bowl, khichdi. We should not develop project like khichdi. We need to keep everything is separately so that our future will be safe. If you cook khichdi, if taste is not good, completely throw it. Suppose if you prepare rice separately, curry is not good, then you can just bring another curry. Still you can utilize the rice, right? If khichdi is damaged, we need to throw out everything. So simple, just apply general life concept. What is loosely coupling? Prepare rice separately, curry separately. If rice is not good, then we can get another rice packet. If curry is not good, we can get another curry packet. If you prepare khichdi, if it is not good, everything is waste. Yeah. So similarly, we should not develop everything in the single program. Divide them. Presentation, write in a JSP. Business logic, write in the servlet. Database logic, write in the DAO. If you separate them, maintenance will become easy. In the company, out of 100 projects will follow MVC architecture. This MVC did not came into market in the last 3 years or 4 years. From last 20 years, people are following the MVC architecture. Even in my current project, we are following MVC. Even it is a Spring Boot application, the MVC is common. MVC is common. Model will be available, view will be available, controller will be available. So inside that, what code we are going to write, that will be different. Today we are using JDBC for the DAO. After 1 week, we will use the Hibernate in the DAO. Today we are using servlet in the web layer. After 1 month, we will use the Spring. Today we are using JSP in the UI. After 2 months, we will use Angular in the UI. But architecture is same. Just technologies are going to change. Are you guys getting my point? Today I want to communicate with the database, JDBC logic. Next week, Hibernate we will use it. Today I am writing servlet. After 1 month, Spring Boot we will use. Today I am using JSP. After 2 months, Angular I will use. But the concept is same. Model, view, controller. Control. What is the responsibility of controller? To handle the request and response. Controller means where the controllers will be available? Web layer. Controllers will be available in the web layer. What is the responsibility of DAO? Communicate with the database. DAO layer, also called as persistence layer, which is responsible to communicate with the database. What is the purpose of DTO? Data transfer object. Send the data from one place to another place, from one method to another method, from one class to another class. For that we can use DTO classes. Are you clear with my point? Yes. Next one. Then make a note. UI layer contains all the presentation logic related files. UI layer contains all the presentation logic related files. UI layer contains all the presentation logic related files. UI layer contains all the presentation logic related files. Inside the brackets we can keep JSP, Angular, React. UI layer contains presentation logic related files. So inside the bracket you can see currently we are using HTML can be available, JSP can be available, Angular will be available, or React can be available. Got it? Yeah. Node is backend. Node is replacement for servlet. Vue.js, yes, we can keep it. Angular, React, Vue, you can keep. Backend. Node.js is used to develop REST APIs. It is alternate for our servlet. Yes. Without REST, there is no project. UI layer contains presentation logic related files. HTML, JSP, Angular, React, Vue. Web layer contains controllers. Web layer contains controllers to handle request and response logics. UI layer contains presentation logic related files. HTML, JSP, Angular, React, or Vue. Web layer contains controllers to handle request and response logics. Handle request and response logics. Inside the brackets, we can use servlets, Spring controllers. Servlets, Spring controllers. Today servlet, tomorrow Spring controller. Today it is a servlet, tomorrow we'll get Spring controllers. Okay. DAO layer contains persistence logic related classes. Persistence logic, nothing but DB. Persistence logic related classes. DAO layer contains persistence logic related classes. Today JDBC. Tomorrow Hibernate. In future Spring DAO, Spring ORM, Data JPA. Architecture is same, technologies will change. Guys, can we have class today at 9 o'clock? Continuation, online. Yesterday class not happened, day before yesterday class not happened. I want to compensate by taking extra class at 9 p.m. 9 to 10:30. No. Huh? Your wish. Okay, you got the clarity. What is UI layer, web layer, DAO layer? Next one, DTO layer. DTO layer contains classes which are used to DTO layer contains classes which are used to represent data. Which are used to represent data. DTO layer contains classes which are used to represent data. DTO layer contains classes which are used to represent data. It is just like encapsulated classes, setter methods, getter methods. DTOs are used to transfer data from one layer to another layer. Note it. DTO classes are used to transfer data from one layer to another layer. DTO classes are used to transfer data from one layer to another layer. DTO classes are used to transfer data from one layer to another layer. Yeah. Next note, if we develop application with the above architecture, if we develop our application, if we develop our application with the above architecture, then it is called as layered architecture application, layered architecture based application. If we develop our application with the above architecture, then it is called as layered architecture based application. If we develop our application with the above architecture, then it is called as layered architecture based application. If we develop our application with the above architecture, then it is called as layered architecture based application. MVC and layered architecture both are same. MVC architecture means model, view, controller will be available. So if you develop our application by using these layers, MVC we are following. Model will be separate, view will be separate, and our controllers will be separate. DAO, DTO comes under model part only. Now, what are the advantages if I develop a project like this? Maintenance of the project will become easy. Now, note, tomorrow, if we want to change, note, make a point. Tomorrow, if we want to change tomorrow, if we want to change DAO layer logic from JDBC to Hibernate, then we can change only DAO layer classes. We can change only DAO layer classes without modifying, without touching servlets and without touching web layer and UI layer components. Tomorrow, if we want to change DAO layer logic from JDBC to Hibernate, then we can change only DAO layer classes without touching web layer and UI layer components. This is called loosely coupling. This is called as loosely coupling. Tomorrow, if you want to change DAO layer logic from JDBC to Hibernate, then we can change only DAO layer classes without touching web layer and UI layer components. This is called loosely coupling. This is called as loosely coupling. Got it? How we are able to achieve loosely coupling? By following MVC architecture. We are dividing the classes, we are dividing the roles of our components, right? Because of that, we are able to achieve loosely coupling. Are you clear with my point? Yes. Now, we understood what is MVC. We understood what is MVC. MVC stands for Model View Controller. By using this MVC, we can develop our components with loosely coupling so that maintenance of the project will become very easy. Now, I want you people to develop one project with MVC architecture. Simple application, very simple application. Okay. So the requirement is like this. The requirement is like this. The requirement is like this. I'm giving name, number, name, email, number. That's it. Name, email, phone number. Name, email, phone number. I want you people to develop one. I'm giving the diagram, guys. Just give me a minute. I will complete that. Name, email, phone number. Now here, text fields are required for the name, email, and phone number. Here I am giving a submit button. Here I am giving a submit button. Now, okay. So here I have one more thing, view records. I'm having a hyperlink called view records in the same page. We are having a submit button and we are having view records. Link is available. Now I want another page where it will display serial number, next one, name, email, and phone number. Serial number should be one, name, whatever the name that we are entering, that Raja email ID @Gmail, whatever we are giving, phone number, some value. So we want to develop one application like our contact application. We should be able to save the record and we should be able to view the records also. This name, email, phone number are table headers and this is our table data. How many records are available in the table? Those records should be displayed here. I want to implement with layered architecture. All the data will be stored into database table. Okay. Raja, Rani, and something value. Yes. Auto increment. Yep. Okay. Like this, I want to have a table in the view page. I want to have a table in the view page. Whatever the data we are inserting from the form, that data should be inserted into database table. That data should be inserted into database table. And when I click on view records, that data should come to the UI, and I want to display the data in the UI page. I want to display data in the UI page, and here I want to have one more hyperlink, add new record, to navigate to the first page. Yeah, navigation, to navigate from one page to another page. Okay. When user click on submit button, the data you need to capture, you need to insert that data into database table, and you need to display success message on the same page, record inserted. Are you guys getting my point? When I insert a record, the record should be inserted to database table, and it has to display a message on the same page saying that record inserted. If I click on view records button, when I click on view records button, it has to navigate the user to this page. It has to navigate the user to this page to see the data. When I click on this hyperlink, user should come back to first page. Okay. So from here, we should be able to navigate to the first page. From here, we should be able to navigate to this page. From here, we should be able to navigate to this page. Are you guys getting my point? Yes, sir. Done. Now, once you people done that, remaining people has not done that. Yes. Once we have done this, I want to add one more column here, action, that is future. Tomorrow we will add that. In this action, I will give edit and delete. In this, I will get it, that is next level. You can practice that. The people who has not done this task, they will work on this activity. I want you people to implement this with the layered architecture. DAO classes should be available. DTO classes should be available. Connection factory should be available, and our JSP file should be available. Whatever we have learned as of now, everything we need to implement. JDBC, servlet, JSP. What is the responsibility of JSP? Presentation logic. Form should be available there, and we should be able to capture the form data. Whatever the form data we capture, that data we need to store into database. Okay. Now, when I click on view records a hyperlink, then what should happen? When I click on view records a hyperlink, what should happen? We need to get the data from the database, and we need to display in the UI page. We need to display in the UI page, in the table. When I click on this hyperlink, then it should go to first page to add the new record. When I add the new record, it has to display success message on the same page. That is the task. I'm repeating once again. I want you to develop one application by using JDBC, servlet, JSP with MVC architecture. Right? JDBC should contain the logic to communicate with the database. Servlet should contain the logic to capture the form data and display the data in the JSP. JSP should contain the logic to display the form as well as table. Okay, that is the task. Now I am giving you 15 minutes of time. I want you people to identify what classes you are going to take, what methods you are going to take, what parameters you will take for the method, what return type you will take for the method. You know how to develop JDBC logic. Remaining people, you know how to develop the JDBC logic. You know how to develop the servlet also. Now you know how to develop HTML page also. Now start the class work. So if you want to develop this project, how many DAO classes are required? How many database tables are required? How many servlets are required? How many JSPs are required? Inside the DAO, what methods you are going to take, what is your method parameter, what is your method return type. In the servlet, what logic you just, I want the structure of the project. I'm not asking you to write the complete logic. Servlet, do get method or do post method. Just to write the do get method, bracket, logic goes here. I don't want you to write the complete logic. Just I want to see structure of the classes. What are the classes you will take? In the classes, what methods you will take? What parameters you will take? What return type you need to take? Simple example. If you want to construct a house, directly are you going to start the wall construction? What is required? Planning is required. I want you to prepare that plan now, not classwork, now only. Time is 5:20. By 5:40, you should be able to show me your plan. What is your approach to develop this project? Start it. Yeah, you can write it. Just write it. Write it. That is called analysis. Come on, guys. Give some space. Hello. There are so many chairs empty. I want one person to remove from there. Yeah, Anusha, go to that chair. You, go to that last. Come this side. Don't copy. Guys, if you copy now, lifelong you will struggle as a developer. You have to see how good you are in the analysis part. What is your approach to develop this project? Online people, take a pen and paper. Note down how many layers are required, how many JSPs are required, how many servlets are required, how many DAOs are required. In the DAO, what methods are required, what parameters, what return types. I want you to prepare the plan now. Do it. It's a class work. It's a class work. It's a class work. Do it fast. Online students, please do it. My requirement is clear for everyone. I want you to prepare the plan for it. How you will do it. What classes you will take. Write the class name. Naming conventions also very, very important. You are going to develop a project. Yesterday in the interview, they asked him naming conventions. What name you will take for the class, methods and all. Do it now. Analyze. Analyze. Classes. Inside that, methods. For example, DAO class we need. In the DAO class, what methods you will write? What parameters, what return types? What parameters and what return types? I'm giving the clue first. Write the table structure. What database table you need, what columns you need in the table. First write the database table. Then DAO. What is the class name? What is the method signature? Name of the method, parameter of the method, return type of the method. I want you to write it with your analysis. What database table we need for this requirement? How many tables we need? First, I want you to do that also. No, I don't know. I don't know. You write it. I will check it and let you know. How many tables we need and what columns we need in the table. From now, you need to think like a full stack. Database, backend, front end. Come on. Table name, table structure, what columns we need in the table. Class name, what methods we need in the class. You have to do it and you have to learn from that. Then only you can get that confidence to become a programmer. You need to build that confidence. When I am teaching, everything is easy. When you start doing on your own, movie will start. $20 time I am giving, guys. I'm not asking you to write the logic. Don't write request at get parameter and all that stuff. Just to write the class name, method name, that's it. I just want the structure, blueprint. What classes, what methods you are going to take. What table you are going to take.
User details.tsp, user record.tsp. By them there, user details class or sublet class will be there, with which I will write public void do post. With this, I will call these two methods. PO layer class, what connection factor will be there? Then in the PO class, there will be one public static boolean insert, public static boolean view. This will be my.
You are wrong. PO layer wrong. With this method, we can't complete this requirement. Think about it. As I told you, always you need to start from DB. First identify the database, then DAOs, then servlets, then JSPs. That method signature is incorrect. There is a mistake. With that, it's impossible to develop this requirement with that analysis. It's impossible. Think again. Think again. Okay. What method you will write in that connection factory? Where is that method? These methods, just you are writing the method name. Where is the parameter? Where is the return type? No, it's 20% only you completed. 2 wickets down. Then that's where you are doing the mistake.
One return statement now.
Again wrong.
So just 10 words.
Yeah, you think it. You think about it.
Only where is it? It is wrong. In my signature, method signature, declaration.
This method is wrong.
Okay. We will not have any.
Still wrong.
You will not take anything.
Think about it. I will tell that.
I can found an entity, I can take the case.
can iterate there all the give record like this.
It is also not 100% correct. You are missing one method. Whatever you have written, that is correct, but still some more methods are required to complete this. When it divide into multiple classes, methods will increase, right?
Add the recording
That is fine, but in the servlet, how many methods you have written? One method. Okay. That method is only for submit. Where is for display?
Okay.
From I told you MVC architecture. MVC architecture means आप JSP से database को कैसे call करोगे? It should not. These two people completed 90%. What about remaining? When I am explaining, guys, everything is easy. After I am writing the code, everything is easy. But tomorrow, I will not be there with you in the company to teach you everything. You need to do it on your own. Your analysis matters a lot.
Object written the object in the collect display. So
object కింద చేస్తే నీకు ఒక ఆబ్జెక్ట్ వస్తుంది. తప్పు. It's mistake.
Do only another server and then do get method.
अभी सही है.
In this method, I can return the with logic I can write in the JSP page. Same things I can write in this page.
Correct.
But sir, there is no need that to write in two subjects. I can write in the
One servlet also fine.
But sir, there is two servlet there, na?
You can write in two or you can write in one also.
But there are two servlet there, na? You one servlet when they click.
That is what, man. This is simple functionality. You can keep it one servlet or you can keep it in two servlets. If you write it two, that is also fine. If you write one, that is also fine.
But sir, deliberately extending classes also possible.
For this, we can write it in one servlet. But in the industry, sometimes if it is a complex application, for every screen, one controller will be available. There are two screens available. Two controllers are required. That is also we can think of. Both are correct.
So much difficult because in this when we use the in the JS page when we use the for retrieve the data, directly I can create the list object retrieve and this object I can
Oh, that is not a good practice, right? Communicating from JSP to database is not a good practice at all.
I also do this. Okay, that to type getting the value and I'm iterating in the JSP.
Now, from now, you need to do in this way. Vinita, completed. What happened? Yeah, analyze, think. Bhagavan sabko ek hi brain diya hai. For everyone, Bhagavan has given only one brain. You have to think, and some people are able to think. You are not able to think. Why? Writing the code is easy. Analysis only difficult. Analysis only difficult. Anything is fine. I told you that, man. One or two, anything is fine. Don't speak. People will copy. Let them think. Prasad. ఎంతసేపు Vijay Surya, your analysis is wrong. Vijay Surya, your analysis is wrong. Correct it and show me. Don't speak.
But sir, problem is when I was going to write, I will write like this. Writing in the copy is different. This is correct. That is correct. Previous one, you given us now student money project. So I'm having difficulties now while dealing two tables in one DA. I have user table has some data, post table has some data. I will join those tables. I will write a query for it. I will add money on the list also, but how will I add money two tables data, set details, and print it as a one user, one entity?
You need to create a separate class with this table with
I have
columns.
I have
This
created,
table.
sir, user DO, courses DO. I did, but the problem is now how to print, how to show them as one entity. You understand what I'm saying? My question is, I want
You
to,
have two tables.
Yeah.
Two tables data you want to
see
retrieve.
ID is the common entity here. If ID equal to 1, this value will comes. ID equal to 1, some courses of this kind.
You should not give ID now. You should give user ID, course ID.
Okay.
If you have user ID, course ID, you need to create some user course tape, user course DTO. Show me the laptop. I will check this. Okay? Tomorrow we can show. Madam, completed? Do it. Yellow t-shirt. Bring the book. Show me what you have done. क्या लिखा हुआ है? कुछ भी नहीं है. Where is the class name? Where is the method? I'm not asking you to write the queries. I'm asking you to create a table. Where is the table? This is the table. How many DAO classes? What are the methods you need in the DAO? Where is that? How many servlets? How many DAOs? How many DTOs? Where is the plan? Where is the plan? How many classes you need first of all? Identify that. Go and do it. Huh? Huh? My house. GitHub. समझ में आया? If we are giving videos in the YouTube, people are not watching. Free. If we conduct a paid workshop, people will join. Completed? Our complete Java project course will be like this only. Daily, I will give one requirement. You have to analyze and you have to tell me how you are going to develop the project. Don't speak, don't speak. I will read it. This is one method. Okay. Okay. Where is another method? This is only for this handling. What about this? How? Data will come here. Here is the method. Here is something missing. Here something is missing. 70% correct. 70% only correct. If you have any friends in the hostel, if you have your seniors who suggested me, you can check with them how much torture will be there in the project course. Literally, they will cry. I will give a lot of requirements. You have to do it. You have to show me your analysis. People are not getting jobs easily. 6 months torture will be there. Literally. अभी थोड़ा कम हो जाएगा. I will give requirement. I will ask you to come up with your design, come up with your coding. I will not do it first. If I do it, you will watch like a movie. When you start doing, then you will realize where you are not able to do it. Then I will teach how to improve that part. You have to do first. It is doing and learning course. Almost we have done 9 projects like this in the JRTP. 9 projects, 9 different requirements. 9 different requirements I have given. First they have to do, they have to show me, then I will tell them how I will do it. Then they will compare their work and my work. Pressure development, experience development. Then आपको फर्क पता चलेगा. No. March 10th, I am thinking. March first week or March 10th. 20th. 20 morning 7:30. First we'll start with Spring Boot. Once the Spring Boot 10 days completed, then project will start. Morning. core also. Core with boot with microservice. First core basics are required. Projects in the sense, almost 9 to 10 requirements we will develop. Major project means collection of mini projects. %100%. Whatever project we are going to do, that project I have done for 4 years. Same requirement. Huh. Come on, guys. Sorry? मुझे भी नहीं आता. That is Android. Android course. Android course. Ah.
The requirement comes, everyone wants APK for their project also that I was for the APK file. I can't tell them I will only develop with the composite language and not whatever the way of
Anyone from this group? Man, come here. Show me. Anusha, next. Arey Baba, I am not asking you to draw the diagrams, man. Diagram I have given, na. Where is the class? Where is the method? How many classes you need for this? How many methods you will write in the class? Diagram, I am not asking you to draw the diagram. You are not a painter. You need to write the class names, what classes you will take. In that class, what methods are required to develop these screens. Do it that. What is database table? Create the table, write the query. Where is DAO? DAO. What methods you will write in the DAO? How many methods we need in the DAO? You write those methods. I'm not asking just class name. Class with methods. Name of the class. Methods declaration I want. No need to write the method body. Just write the method. Signature of the method. I want that signature. Sir, what are you doing? What are you doing? Then why are you using mobile? Show me that. Show your analysis. Methods kahan hai? You are using mobile, you are not writing anything. Write the methods. People are weak in the analysis, not in the coding. Coding we can do it. Analysis is difficult. Identifying the classes methods. What about you? Vinita, show me. Where is your DAO class? I am not understanding your method signature. Why parameters required for this method? Are we sending any data? We are retrieving the data. Why method will take input? That is wrong. Do it correctly. What is the table? What table structure I need? DAO, I want methods. No, it's not correct. This is wrong. This is wrong. No, you have to do it. Orange shirt. Orange or pink? Pink. Yeah, what is this?
I just before I write and now I write.
This is wrong. Yeah, this part is correct. This side is correct. Here, one small thing you are missing. You need to do it. Come on, guys. Completed. Online. No one is responding from online. And I told you yesterday, online people, please come to Hyderabad for module 3. Hafiz Kazi, your analysis is wrong. Black t-shirt. नहीं किया आपका अरे भाई कोड क्यों लिख रहा है? आई एम आस्किंग जस्ट स्ट्रक्चर.
Queries update, so update queries and it's a role.
Update कहाँ है? Why am I asking you to update any data? Then why update? DAO class गलत है. Edit delete you people can try.
One more project to show the print the data from data. For that,
ये गलत है. This part is wrong. No, it's wrong. Specs. రావట్లేదా?
table as something. DTO class create చేస్తాం.
తప్పు.
Load చేస్తాం. Method.
ఇది కరెక్ట్. ఈ మెథడ్ కరెక్ట్. ఇది తప్పు.
ఇన్సర్ట్ చేస్తాం మళ్ళీ రిట్రీవ్ చేసుకుంటాం కదా సార్.
ఇక్కడ మళ్ళీ డూ పోస్ట్ ఎందుకు వస్తుంది? రిట్రీవల్ కదా.
వేరే సబ్లెట్ లో క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం రాజు.
ఇక్కడ తప్పు ఉంది. మిస్టేక్స్ ఆర్ దేర్. Should I explain? Or you want to try? Already tried, huh? Tired or tried? Guys, it is just storing the data and retrieving the data. There is nothing else. No validations also. Just to store the data and retrieve the data. What classes we need to write? Suppose, simple. If I don't ask you to do the analysis, if I directly write the code, everybody will feel it is very easy. Because star is telling one simple application to store the data and retrieve the data. When I directly write that code, you will feel it is very easy. But when I ask you to try, you are not getting the idea. What is the approach? What class? What methods we need to create? That means you are weak in analysis part. Coding is different. Analysis is different. First, you are not able to prepare the plan. What we need to create? What is our goal? What is our target? What is our target? Developing this project with the MVC architecture. Presentation layer will be available. Database layer will be available. Web layer will be available. So you need to follow divide and conquer principle. First you divide your requirement. Now see how I will analyze this. Observe carefully. Time 5:53 or 6:53? 5:53. Okay, fine. Yeah, guys. So now listen carefully, guys, all of you. First of all, in order to develop this requirement, we need a table in the database. We need a table in the database. So I'm going to create a table with a name called user table. Any name you can give. This is my table. In this table, I want to create columns to store the data. So what is the first one? User ID will be available. For every user, I'm giving one user ID. That user ID will be integer type. I want to generate this value automatically. For that, I will use auto increment. Observe, from the form, are we getting the ID or we are not getting the ID from the form? Come on, respond. We are not getting the ID. ID should be maintained in the table. For that, I am using auto increment. Now I am getting name, email, and phone number. To store that data, I need to create user underscore name. That is a varchar. User underscore email. That is also a varchar. User underscore phone number. That is a int value. User underscore phone number. That is a int value or long value. We can take it. So this is my table structure. I want to store the name. I want to store the email. I want to store the phone number. Along with that, I need one ID, which will auto generate it, auto increment. When I insert first record, ID will be 1. When I insert second record, ID will be 2. When I insert third record, ID will be 3. Are you getting my point? So always you need to analyze database side first. I want to store user data, name, email, phone number. For every user, I want to give one ID. So to store that data, I need one table in the database like this. After this, I want to insert the data into table. To insert the data into table, I need a connection. To get the connection, I will create one class with a name called connection factory. I will create a class with a name called connection factory.java. Inside the connection factory.java class, I'm going to create one method, public connection get connection. That's it. Come on, guys. I need to create a connection factory.java class. In the connection factory.java class, I will write a method which will give me connection. If you want, you can write like this also. Class connection factory. Inside this class, I will have a method. Inside this method, I will write the logic in future. I'm not asking you to develop this logic. You just keep open curly brace, closed curly brace. Here, logic will be available. Our logic will be available to get the connection. That's it. Now close this. Done. What is the purpose of this class? This connection is used to give the connection, public static public static connection, get connection. This, when I call this method will give me connection object. So with this, table is identified. We need a table to store the data. To communicate with the database, we need a connection. For that, I have taken a connection class, connection factory. I'm writing a static method. Do I need to pass anything as a method parameter? Not required. Property file will be available to maintain the connection details, and method return type is what? Connection. When I call this method, it should give me connection object. Okay, guys, here we need to write the logic to read the data from the property file, create the connection pool, create the data source. From the data source, return the connection object. Here we need to write the logic to return connection object. What is the return type of this method? Connection object. We already created that several times. Connection factory class with get connection method returning the connection object. Now, so connection factory is available. I need a DAO to communicate with the database, layered architecture. I'm going to take a class with a name called user DAO. This is where most of the people are getting confused. What are the methods we need to write in the DAO? Now, what is the purpose of DAO? To communicate with the database. Now, from where the data is coming? From the UI. From the UI, data will go to servlet. Servlet should send the data to DAO. I want to transfer the data. To transfer the data, first I will take one class called user DTO. Inside this, we need a variables. What are the variables? Name is available. Name is available. Email is available. And phone number is also available. Name, email, phone number. We can take ID also. User ID. Come on, guys. User ID also we can take. For these variables, we need setters and getters. For these variables, we need to write the setters and getters. Why setters and getters? Set the data and get the data. Now here in the user DAO, I will write one method, public boolean save user. For this method, I will take user DTO as a parameter. Inside this, we will write the logic to insert. This is one method. If the record is inserted, this method should return true. If record is not inserted, this method should return false value. Who will call this DAO method? Servlet will call this DAO method. Observe. Now, this method is used to save the user. What is the parameter for the method? DTO object. What is the return type of the method? Boolean. Why I am taking DTO as a parameter? User data. User data will be entered in the form. When the form is submitted, it will go to servlet. Servlet will take the form data, will store in the DTO object, will give the DTO object to DAO method. DAO method will insert the record in the database, will return true or false value. If the record is inserted successfully, it will return true. If the record is not inserted, it will return false value. Are you clear why I am taking DTO as parameter, boolean as return type? DTO represents user data. Servlet will call this method, will pass this object. Now, boolean, true or false. If record is inserted, return true. If record is not inserted, return false value. So this method is used to save the record. Now, there is one more functionality, view records. I want to retrieve the data from the database table. Now, in the database, one record will be available or multiple records will be available. Multiple records will be available. In the Java, how to represent multiple records? Come on. How to represent multiple records in the Java? Two options are there. Arrays available, collection is available. When to go for arrays? If you know the size. If you know the size. Array creation means size is mandatory. But do you know how many records will be available in the table? We don't know. Today 3 records, tomorrow 10 records, tomorrow maybe 100 records, maybe 1 lakh records. If you want to represent a group of objects, you can go for array or you can go for collection. We learnt arrays, we learnt collection. we don't know where to use it. For morning people also, collection started. List is already completed. I have taken the update from the sir also. He completed array list and he started linked list. Am I right? So what is the purpose of going for list? What is the purpose of going? Yeah. What is the purpose of going for list? To represent more than one object. Here in the database table, multiple records are available. I want to represent records. Okay. I want to write a method public method return type should be list of user DTO retrieve users, that is find users. Find users. Some people are taking parameters for this method. Why parameter? Not required. I want to retrieve all the records. I am not giving anything to the application. I'm just clicking on view users. When I click on view user, it has to retrieve all the records from the table and it should display in the front end. This DAO method is used to insert the record. This DAO method is used to retrieve the record and return the records in the form of collection. List of user DTOs. When I am trying to save this user, when I'm clicking on submit button, take the form data, store that data into DTO object and call the DAO method in the servlet. When I click on view records hyperlink, am I giving any data to the application? I'm just clicking on the link. Come on. I'm just clicking on the link. When I just click on the link, just to retrieve the data from the database and display in the application. So to retrieve the data from the database, here I'm writing one method, public list of user DTO find users, my method. Why I am taking list here? Because in the database, more than one record can be available. In the database, more than one record can be available. I want to represent all the records. From the DAO, I want to send it to servlet. From the servlet, I want to send it to JSP. So you need to write a method like this. One method is used to save the data. Another method is used to retrieve the data. The method which is responsible to save the data, it will take DTO object as a parameter which represents user form data. Boolean will represent true or false, whether record inserted or not inserted. Here, this method is used to retrieve the user records. In the table, more than one record can be available. To represent more than one record, either we need to go for arrays or we need to go for collection. When to go for arrays, when to go for collection? If you know the number of records already, then you can go for array. But in this scenario, do we know the records count? We don't know. That's why we will go for collection. List of user DTO. All the user records will be converted into list of user DTO. Fine. Next one, DAO is completed, DTO is completed, connection factory completed. Now I need to create a servlet. I can create a class called user servlet, which extends from HTTP servlet. Inside this servlet, we need to write two methods. One method is for form submission. One method is for hyperlink click. Okay. We need to have one method to handle submit button. We need to have one method to handle hyperlink. Inside this servlet, so to submit the form data, I will go for do post method. To retrieve the data, I will go for do get method. That is analysis completed. Only 2 to 3 people completed that. 3-4 people with minor mistakes they have completed. Remaining people are not able to do it. Did I ask you to write the code? No, this is called analysis. I have a plan now. How many classes I need to create? How many methods I need to create? So how many servlets I'm taking? One servlet. How many methods are there in the servlet? 2 methods are there. Why 2 methods are there? Do post method, do get method. What is the purpose of do post and do get? Do post method is used to handle submit button to save the data. Do get method to retrieve the data. Now in the DAO, how many methods I have? How many methods I have in the DAO? 2 methods I have. What are those 2 methods in the DAO? Save user method, find users method. Why am I taking DTO object as, now you may get a question. Array, In this method, parameter is available, return type is Boolean. In this method, parameter is not there, return type is list. Can you buttify this? Can you buttify this? Tomorrow requirement will change. Okay, guys. So you need to be a dynamic programmer. Based on the requirement, you need to write the methods. Writing the I observe from last 3-4 years, I'm teaching Java project. 80 to 90% of the people's problem is this only. I will give the requirement, I will give 1 day time, they will not do anything. Because, sir, we are not understanding how many classes I need to write, how many methods I need to write, how many parameters I need to write, what return type I need to take, what name I need to take for the method. They are not able to do it. 80 to 90% of the people have the same problem. Those all are from famous institutes in the Amirpet. They completed core Java, advanced Java, Spring Boot, microservices also. Finally, they will come to our JRTP. Then I will give the task. I am not like other faculty. What other faculties will do? They will tell the requirement. They will open the Eclipse. This class we need to create. This method we need to create. Write the code. Show the output. Students will clap. Output came. What student learned? Just he watched movie. Faculty writing the code. Students are watching. After going home, faculty will share the code. You will import that project. You will execute. You will get output in your system. Java is platform independent. The program which worked in the faculty computer, same program will work in your computer also. But here, I will not share the code. Why? If I share the code, what is the benefit you are getting? 0. You will run the same code. When you will write the code on your own, if I give my code to you, that is the difference between Ashok IT and other institutes. That is the reason our students are getting the jobs. The reason is they will struggle 4-5 months here. Whether they are pressure or experience, it doesn't matter. They should be able to develop the code on their own. First time you will fail. Second time you will fail. Third time you will fail. 9 projects we are going to develop in the batch. Like this, 9 projects will be available. Every project, first you have to try. First you have to try. You may not be able to do it. Gali dekta hai. Huh? Definitely. So if you are not able to do it, scoldings will be there. I will give 1 day time, 2 days time. Then I will explain. Now you see, suppose if I don't give you the 20 minutes I have given, is very important to realize how much analysis skill you have. If I don't give this 20 minutes of time, when I give the requirement, if I explain this, you will never understand the analysis part. You will never understand the complexity in the analysis part. Now everybody's brain will open. Array, I'm not able to do it like this. That means I'm not able to understand where to use the collection. I'm not able to understand what parameter I need to take for the method. What return type now, if you see, anybody will think that array, simple Boolean return type ra, method parameter is object ra. Here method no parameter, return type is list ra, nothing is there ra. That is your feeling now. Yes or no? But when you do it on your own, you are not getting that idea. That is the difference between fresher and experience. Got it? If I give these methods, coding, anybody can do it. There is no doubt. But coding is not important for us now. In the learning stage, what is important? Analysis is important. We need to improve our analytical skill. Yesterday, find the second highest salary in the array. What is the analysis we need to do? That people are not able to do it. That is the problem. You need to improve your analysis skills, guys. You need to improve your analysis skills. Servlets. How many servlets I'm taking? Only 1. How many methods I'm taking in the servlet? 2. Why 2 methods are there? One is for saving the form data. Another is used to retrieve the data. As this method is used for saving the data, do post method. As I want to retrieve the data, do get method. How many methods I'm taking in the DAO? 2 methods. Why I am taking 2 methods in the DAO? One method is used to insert the data. Another method is used to retrieve the data. Why I am taking DTY as a parameter here? Here, form will be submitted. Form data will come to servlet. Servlet will prepare the data in the DTO object. Servlet will call this method by giving D2Y as the input. What this DAO method will do? Insert the record. If inserted successfully, return true. If not inserted successfully, return false value. Then what is this method? Why I am not taking any parameter? User is giving an input or user is clicking a link? User is clicking a link. So when user is clicking a link, I'm not getting any input from the user. I want to give only output to the user. So to give the output, my method is returning list of DTO objects. Why I am taking list? Why I am not taking only user DTO? Why I am not taking user DTO? Why I am taking list of user DTO? If I take user DTO, how many users data I can return? One user. But in the table, multiple users available. How to represent multiple users data? Arrays are collection. Why I am not going for array? Array, when you are creating array, you need to specify size. How many records you want to store? But do you know now? Today I am writing the code. I will create with 10 size. Tomorrow 20 records inserted. My array will not support. And my array is not going to support. That's why what I am doing? Collection. If I take collection, what is the advantage? Global. Any number of records I can store. Today 10 records. After 1 month 30 records or 100 records, I can store into my collection. Okay. Now I am taking DTO class, ID, name, email, phone number. For all these variables, setters and getters we need to write to set the data, to get the data. Now connection factory. What is the purpose of connection factory? To get the connection. I'm writing a method. Method is having a connection return type. When I call this method, it should give me the connection. I want to store user data in the table. Table should contain user ID, username, email, phone number. So here user ID is the auto increment. It should increment from 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, because from the form I am not getting that user ID. It should be auto generated. To auto generate that value, I'm going for auto increment. This is what I asked you. You need to do analysis like this. Did I write any code? No, just I prepared my plan. Now here JSPs we need. We need to take one JSP, index.jsp, which is containing the form. Okay, and another is JSP, view users.jsp. One JSP is used to display the form and the hyperlink. When I click on the hyperlink, when I click on the hyperlink, database data should be displayed in the, this is view users JSP. This is my index JSP. Two JSPs are required. Two JSPs are required. One is index.jsp, another one is view users.jsp. Are you clear? Now, what mistake you have done? Can you compare your analysis and my analysis? We can add that. Forget about validation, later point of time. First basic thing they are not able to understand. What is the difference between your analysis and my analysis? Now tell me, companies are interested to take the freshers or experienced people? Why experience? If a company take a fresher, what is the problem? I already told in the core Java this example. You want to construct one house, 1 crore budget. Okay, you have a friend in the BTech, civil engineer, topper in the college, 90%. Can you give construction to that person? He is your friend, college topper, 90%, first class in the BTech. Why don't you give that person? After all, for 1 crore, you are thinking about experience. Client will pay 100 crores for the project. Then do you think that clients will accept freshers to develop the project? First, just for 1 crore rupees budget, you are not trusting your friend who is done BTech with you, who got the top rank in the college, 90%, no backlogs, all clear. You are not trusting that person, even though he is topper in the college, because he don't have experience. How much your house budget? Forget about 1 crore. 20 lakhs is your budget. Can you give to your friend? Can you give 20 lakhs to your friend to construct your dream house? No. Then think about the client. Assume that I am a client. I want a project. My project budget 1000 crores. Can I trust freshers to develop my project? No. Why? Quality matters. That is the reason freshers are not getting the jobs. Companies are looking for experience because clients will not accept freshers. TCS will take the freshers. You see, Aadhaar card project, Me Seva project, kitna ganda dikhta hai dekho. How much bad it is. The worst projects that are there in our government, because government will not give the money. Government will not give the money. Company will not take the high qualified people. High qualified person means lakhs of salary. Fresher means 3 lakhs, 3.5, 4. TCS will take the freshers, will keep in the government project. Whatever you want, government is not paying the money. Quality will not be good. Let's look at this normal websites, Amazon website, Flipkart website. How much quality will be there? The reason is highly qualified, experienced developers will be available. Salaries 40 lakhs, 50 lakhs per month. TCS fresher salary 3.6 lakhs. Yearly package I'm talking. Right. 40-50 lakhs packages will be there in Amazon, Microsoft, Google. That quality will be there in the work. If a fresher develop a project, if a save is working, update will not work. If update is working, delete will not work. That is the reason companies are looking for experienced people. You need to realize that. Yep. Anybody not able to understand my analysis? Still anybody having doubts on this? This is my table. This is my connection factory class. This is my DTO class. This is my DAO. And this is my servlet. These are my JSP pages. Note down. Who are not able to do it? Note down fast. Take the requirement and write analysis. First, I need to teach you analysis. Then I need to teach coding. Huh? Guys, be serious from now. From now, you are working on the project. Theoretical story completed. Practicals. Don't waste your time. The next 3 months is very, very, very crucial for everybody to get the job. The people who referred you to my classes, you can check with them. If you are not doing the assignment, how the punishments will be there. I'm preparing the base now, analysis part. Note it down. Yeah, take the analysis now. Table. How many of you can complete this development by tomorrow? After taking this analysis, can you complete it? Everything is there. Just you need to write the logic in that. Yeah, take it. Table you need to create like this. Yeah. Edit and delete add karo. That will be next task for these people. CAD operations. Note it down fast, guys. Quick. I have another class at 7:30. Spring Boot. In the 7:30 Spring Boot batch also, all of them are freshers. जान ले लेगा. It started 1 month back. 7:30 में बोला आप लोग पूछा था हम अटेंड करना बोल के, मैं नहीं बोला था ना, और वो लोग भी जान ले लेता. Yes, right. I will teach Angular. Some people are saying they did not understand JavaScript. I will explain JavaScript concepts, TypeScript concepts, and Angular part also. Don't worry. Huh? After explaining also you want to copy, huh? I explained 3-4 times, again you want to copy, man. Notes I am uploading, I think. Upload कर रहा है. Upload कर रहा है. Yesterday class was not there. Yesterday पूरा ज्ञान दिया था बच्चे को. With that effect, today people are able to answer my questions. That is the difference. Guys, you know core Java concepts. From now you need to understand where to use which concept. Okay? All these concepts again will come in the project also. When we are developing a project again, and I'm going to tell you 9 different requirements we are going to develop, which are very common in every real-time project. Completed? You can keep a note. This is our first project with MVC. 3-4 projects we need to do on the MVC. Then only you will get the clarity on that part. Servlet, JDBC, JSP. 3 different. This is one requirement. Next project will be for this project only enhancement. Edit functionality, delete functionality. When you click on edit, record should display in the editable mode. I can update that. I want to delete that record. I will give you 2 types of deletes. One is a hard delete, another one is soft delete. Like that we are going to do the next project. Can you guys complete this development? Pakka? Are you sure? I want everybody to try this requirement before coming to tomorrow's class. Okay? Fine, guys. Thank you.
How you said taken 4 class then? You were sleeping one time then morning 7 AM class. Second से सर morning में लेंगे हाई क्लास. अभी तो जितना स्लो पढ़ाते हैं नहीं आ जाता है. तो एक चीज को इतना पढ़ाते कि नहीं आ जाता है सर. आप सर वो जो कंपनी में बोले थे सर रेस्ट एपीआई और जेसन में काम होगा ना सर? वो सिखाएंगे ना सर हमको? या हमको सर वो नहीं पता है? वो कल मेरे को तुमको कुछ नहीं आता है तो मतलब जो नहीं आता है उसको बोल दो डायरेक्ट, मतलब नहीं आता है तो बोल दो डायरेक्ट, टाइम वेस्ट मत करो। नहीं आता तो कुछ कोई बात नहीं, वही आगे से नहीं सीख के आता है वही सीखेगा यहाँ पे। ठीक है सर अपडेट देना सर।
कल आता है अपडेट।
आज नहीं आएगा
सर कुछ तो कॉल करना है उसको भी
सर, अपडेट आने में सर बता
सर।